My name's Rick Malir. I'm the president and co-founder of City Barbecue. And what's fun about being in this restaurant business is I grew up on a farm in Kansas. So I grew up raising cattle and hogs and crops and so forth. And so I have a very intimate relationship with agriculture. And so there's a lot of trends today in terms of, you know, buying local and all these other things with agriculture and so forth. I grew up with that. I grew up with agriculture and have a real deep appreciation for food and where it comes from and how it's used to nourish us. And so that's very much a part of me. Plus I was an agricultural major from Kansas State University. That's why I proudly have my cup with the logo on it. And then my wife grew up on a cattle operation in Tennessee where she raised registered Hereford cattle. It's interesting how things work out in life. And my wife Bonnie and I were moved to Columbus, and that was a surprise, but we liked it here. And then we wanted to try this barbecue thing, and we love to cook, but we also needed some good team. We needed a good team. And I say I for about 5 minutes on this whole thing, and then it became we with my wife, and then we had a bigger team very soon after that. But it was a competition team that devoted a lot of the recipes and the cooking techniques to what City Barbecue is. And so it was very interesting. The company was started from the roots of a competition barbecue team. When we talk about the early days, it was crazy. We were trying to get started. I didn't come from a wealthy background, neither did my wife, and so we really started with bootstrapping. And for example, we had a lot of delays getting the first restaurant open, but we had caterings booked. And so we actually went through and had a cook in my garage. And so we had the smoker in the driveway at our house, and we had our garage kind of set up as a makeshift kitchen. And literally, you can't make this up, but one of the craziest stories is I would go to 3 of my neighbors before a catering event with raw beans in a 5-gallon bucket, and I would deliver the beans to their ovens, and I'd say, hey, I'll see you again in 3 hours. Come back, get the beans, put them in a holding unit, and go do a catering job. And we did that many times. And then we would do all the dishes and cleanup in our backyard. When you don't have a lot of money to start out, about the only thing you worry about is taking care of the guest, making sure every sandwich is wonderful. And so it really made us focus on what was important in this business, and that is taking care of the guest and building teams in our restaurants. When we talk about the core values of what makes us tick, there's a lot of areas that we can go into about how we treat our teams, about how we want to be a part of the community. When it comes to the guest and serving them and having them enjoy the barbecue experience, we talk about competition quality. Not necessarily do we want to win a trophy that day, but rather it's a mantra for how we get better every day and how we want to be the most authentic, real experience we can be. I'll give you an example. Almost everything we make in our restaurants is made from scratch at each location. Example, our potato salad comes in the back of every restaurant as raw potatoes and mayonnaise, and that's how it starts. Our French fries are hand cut. Everything comes in, and virtually everything is made homemade, like I said, at each restaurant. And so that's where kind of that mantra of competition quality and how we want to have that. The other thing is we want to be a backyard hospitality type experience. We really train our teams, and I believe it, that we want to treat you like a guest in our home. We want you there, we want to welcome you and have you enjoy the experience. And that'll probably keep you coming back. The fun thing about City Barbecue is that we're still really the same company ownership we've always been. And we have a lot of that cooking in the garage mentality yet today. And so when people ask, where do you want to be, how big do you want to get, etc., our simple answer is we're just going to grow at the pace that we can still maintain or improve our quality and our guest experience. We're not out chasing some big goal, but we're actually just trying to grow in a very steady, methodical way and let our teammates grow with us.